Welcome to Argo News. I'm Incy Netanai.
And I'm Taja Ng. Deciding the best local news source could be a difficult task for some. Here's Argo News' Karina DiGregorio as she explores one option.
The Pensacola News Journal is your most reliable source for news happening in your area.
Pensacola News Journal. Well, it's a content providing organization. It traditionally is a newspaper. You know, Pensacola News Journal been around for decades and decades and decades in this area. But yeah, providing news to Escambia and Santa Rosa counties through across a lot of different platforms. Our online, of course, has become really big for us lately over the last couple of years. So providing news and across as many platforms as we can, whether it's social media, online stories in the paper. You really just want to build as strong relationships as you can with the people that are the subjects of your stories. That's how you find more stories from them. So I've spent a lot of time talking to the high school athletes. They're a fun crew to be around. I'm close enough in the age range to kind of relate to them still, I'd say. So some of them might say different, but yeah, I write game recaps, previews for games, feature stories on athletes, teams, coaches, and videos too. Videos, social media, like I said earlier. I'm always putting out tweets about the next biggest thing. And stories and videos, whatever I think people want to read or watch, I'm trying to put it together, especially when it comes to high school sports. We possess a sense of diversity that you might not see with other outlets. With the reporters, you know, here we're lucky enough at the PNJ to have enough reporters where we each get to devote our passion to our beat. I think that each person here is very passionate about their beat, so I would say that sets us apart in a good way, for sure.
For more information, visit www.pnj.com. I'm Karina DiGregorio, reporting for Argo News.
The career path of most changes numerous times throughout the course of life. Ali Hartung has more on how one Pensacola native turned a hobby into a profession.
With a degree in dentistry, never did this local surfer imagine his future would lead to a career in surfboard customization.
Going into the dental industry, and I decided I didn't really want to do that. And so I pulled back from that, and that summer that I was trying to make up my mind what I wanted to do, I decided to make myself a surfboard. I always liked to build things and, draw and I thought and surf, and I thought, wow, this will be fun, So I built a board for myself, and then all of my close buddies that we were called the Water Boys. We just were kind of a gang that just kind of hung together and lived together and took care of each other, and they all wanted me to build them boards, so started building boards for them, and then other people wanted me to build boards, so it just kind of snowballed into a business out of a hobby. We started off as a business selling wholesale to other surf shops, and then eventually morphed into a retail operation. The epoxy boards, we make most of those blanks ourselves by hot wiring them out of a big block of EPS foam and then shaping from there. But both boards start with shaping the blank into a finished shape like this, and then it comes down here into the laminating room where it gets glassed. A lot of times we are adding color into the resin and doing color laminations like these, and then the fins in, hot coats, it goes up into our sanding room, gets sanded, and then depending on whether it's going to get a gloss and polish, that is the end stage for some boards.
Looking to catch your own wave? Head down to the Waterboys 9th Avenue location or buy online at www.waterboys.com. I'm Ali Hartung reporting for Argo News.
Whether students are meeting new people or participating in events, Greek life plays an important role on UWF's campus.
Greek life is a great way to get involved on campus.
Just the people, really. It was something about their attitude and just the way that I saw them interact with each other. And it wasn't that there was anything else with the other stories. It was just I felt more like Alpha Chi. And so going through recruitment, you really do kind of find those people who you connect better with. I have a ton of friends and all the other ones, but it was with these people that I was like, this is where I want to be. You're not going to understand it at first as to why you're going through it really, or what it's really about, but really give it a try, because it has been one of the best experiences that I've ever gone through. And really, I think, go into it and really put your all into it, because what you put into it is what you get out. So go to what they tell you to go to all the fun events. Even if you don't think, even if it is time consuming, do it, because it's so worthwhile. Because I've made friendships with so many incredible girls who I never would have met or never would have known, or never really thought that we'd be similar to, because of Alpha Chi, and because I went to those events, and I chose to be like, yeah, I'll hang out with you guys, and yeah, I'll go. And it's really cool, because a lot of them are so inspirational, and I admire a lot of them, and we are giving back to the community. And I think that a lot of people, whether it's movies or how it was in the past, I think those are all sort of forgotten about. And a lot of us have ambitions, and we're all going through it, and we all support each other. And I think that's something that is easily looked over.
Getting involved and meeting new people makes for a better college experience. I am Ben White, reporting for Argo News.
Downtown Pensacola has a unique spot where you can find fresh produce as well as handmade crafts once a week.
If you want to support your community artists and farmers, the Pensacola Farmers Market is right here, downtown.
The Palafox Market is local farmers and local artists, about 110 that I set up every weekend. They bring people downtown, for one, to shop the market, and then they go downtown to shop at our retail shops. I have art, for one, acrylics, mixed media. We have people that make birdhouses, people that make their items with wood, their products with wood. Soap, have the people making soap, jewelry, all kinds of beautiful jewelry. The farmers, they're local, and it's amazing the crowd that they attract in the mornings to get all their produce. And everybody knows if you're not there before 10 o'clock, you're not getting a dozen eggs. So this year on May 2nd will be our 9th year anniversary for that, and just the past 3 years we went all year round. It's been great. Well, this ninth year on May 7th, I believe it is this year, we're going to have a celebration with the things for the kids to do downtown. We're going to have a chef's cook-off and bounce houses and other things that, shows that we're celebrating 9 years. As far as the 10-year, I know I have a few ideas right now, but I plan on making it pretty big. It's a big deal, 10 years.
If you want to find more information on the Palafox Market, you can visit their website at palafoxmarket.com. I'm Blake Baylor, reporting for Argo News.
New Orleans may be over 200 miles away, but the authentic taste of their food is not very far from campus.
Are you craving Cajun? Going berserk for a little barbecue? Well, the solution to your predicament is a little voodoo.
Well, Voodoo BBQ and Grill is different from other restaurants because first and foremost is the food. We slow smoke our meats in-house 14 hours a day. We've got signature blends of spices and herbs that we put on them to give them a unique flavor. Second, all of our stuff is homemade inside house. We make all of our red beans and rice, our jambalaya with fresh ingredients every day. Third that makes us different is our environment. It's just a fun, light environment with the New Orleans theme. So it kind of gives you a little feel like you're in New Orleans when really you're right here in the Target Shopping Center on 9 Mile Road. We currently have a loyalty program. It's a phone app. So basically whenever you make a purchase at Voodoo, there's going to be a barcode at the bottom of your receipt. You open up the app on your phone, there's a scanner, you just scan that in and it keeps track of your points for you. Based on those points, then it allocates free food, magic money that you can spend here at Voodoo. For every dollar you spend, you earn a point. You start earning rewards at 100 points. I think the keys to Voodoo's success is the focus that we put on the quality of our food and the uniqueness of our food. That we make everything homemade in the restaurant. That we have unique items that you can't pick up just anywhere, and that we really focus on the quality of those slow smoked meats. That combined with the service. We hire the right crew members to be a part of our team, so that when you walk into Voodoo, you don't just come across somebody doing their job. You come across somebody that's glad you walked into our restaurant. So we focus on making you feel welcome and just having a good time while you enjoy your lunch or dinner.
Don't let the title deter you. This sort of voodoo is definitely worth dabbling. I'm Greg Hartung, reporting for Argo News.
Upcoming graduates are on the countdown throughout campus. Reporter Ian Frost takes a closer look at the group of graphic design graduating seniors as they prepare to present their final work.
Since the beginning of this semester, several UWF students have been getting ready to bring their vision into focus.
Resolution is the culmination of all of our efforts. We are graduating this semester, and on April 14th, we're all going to get together and show off our work, basically. For the past 2 years, we've all been working on building our portfolios and making sure that our artwork is cohesive and professional, and developing our skills to be able to create that effortlessly, and building portfolios that we will be taking to our employers or future employers, job interviews, things like that. What Resolution is a chance for us to display the contents of those portfolios and be able to display it in a manner that allows members of the community, as well as our families and fellow students, to come in and take a look at our work and say, wow, that's what all those all-nighters were for, and all of that, all that espresso and all of those tearing the hair out, and we understand those Facebook posts now. I hope people come away from Resolution seeing 15 students who have given their all to a design career and are ready to make their mark in the design world, that they have resolved to be excellent designers in the Pensacola design community and beyond.
If you'd like to see the culmination of these students' work, you could see it on display at the UWF Innovation Institute, April 11th through the 14th. I'm Ian Frost, reporting for Argo News.
If you're good at spinning a tale, the UWF English department could help you make a career out of it. Argo News reporter Jenna Bailey has more on the story.
Writing is a great way to express yourself, but can it ever be more than a hobby?
Whether it be a poem or a short story, whether it be realism or fantasy. Creative writing uses the imagination to help us explore our worlds in a way that we wouldn't look at if we were reading a biography. One of the great things that writers have today that helps them gain exposure is the internet. New writers can put together your own website, create social media that's attached to that website. Is one of the things that I've discovered in shopping around my novel manuscript to agents and editors is that a lot of them want to know that you have some sort of built-in audience. And I direct our internship program in the English department, and in putting together the program, that was my first question: was what kinds of internships can students do so that they can see what's for them out there after college? So my first question was, well, what is out there for them? Because my path, I always knew I wanted to teach, but beyond teaching, I've had students do internships at publishing companies, so you can be an editor. I've had students work at magazines where they wrote articles for magazines. But there is a lot of demand in many different sectors for people who can write, and for people who can think about presenting ideas or working through problems creatively.
Do you have a creative mind? I'm Jenna Bailey reporting for Argo News.
Escambia County is the latest local victim of a tornado tragedy. Here's Argo News reporter Tony Reed with the aftermath.
Only memories remain for some who lost everything due to the recent tornadoes here in Pensacola, Florida.
Well, we were watching the weather and we'd just gotten an alert. The emergency alerts came off on our phones, and I heard something change sound-wise, and I told my husband, I said, we've got to get downstairs. And literally, we didn't think we were going to make it downstairs, and we huddled. We couldn't get in the closet quick enough, so we were huddled in a corner. And about probably 10 seconds after we were down there, it hit, and we heard horrendous noises then. Well, we first heard the freight train sound, like we're getting from that train right now, but it was a loud freight train sound. And then during it, you could hear things being ripped off. You could hear glass, you could hear metal, you just could hear noises. And we believe that there was one of the GE, I don't even know what it's called, a wind, those big 10 by 20 things. Anyway, we believe it went over the top of our house because half of it's out in the backyard, in the bay actually. Our roof is off. There was water damage. It just flooded down, and we've got a complete skylight up there anyway. But other than that, we've got vehicle damage, and we've got damage to the outside and to the roof, but our structure is not demolished like the other buildings behind us. So,
for more information on how to help these victims, please contact the Escambia County Red Cross. I'm Tony Reed reporting for Argo News.
UWF's library has a Skylab that provides student access to the limitless possibilities of 3D printing, courtesy of student technology funds.
The Skylab is offering a service that gives new depth to student creativity.
3D printing, it isn't really a mass production type of device because it takes quite a bit of time to make something. So that what it holds for in mass production though is the creativity. So somebody can get a desktop printer and they can take some 3D modeling software and they can make a prototype. Basically with desktop 3D printing is what we're talking about here. And it's basically just a piece of plastic. It looks like weed eater string that this extruder melts, and it just lays it out layer by layer, and it makes the 3D model that you've made in 3D software on a computer into a physical object made out of plastic. Like I say, it started out with the art students, interestingly enough, doing their art projects up here, and we've had some biology students coming up here like printing microscopic bugs, and then some tools and equipment that you could use in a biology lab. The chemistry department has made some molecular structures, and actually right now we're having something printing out by the physics department where they're doing some research and they're printing out some stuff for their research. So we've had a lot of good academic uses, and then other students are just coming in, playing around, learning about the technology too, which is it's all learning, so it's all good. Yeah. You can't just print anything. It's because if it has an overhang or something over like 45 degrees, you can't print into thin air, so you have to use support structures which have to be cut away, and so that makes it a little bit trickier on what you can actually print with a 3D desktop printer. This is a great opportunity for UWF students and faculty to come up here and invent something.
For more information on 3D printing, make sure to visit the Skylab. I'm Robert Brown, reporting for Argo News.
Interested in television production? Argo News reporter Doobie Jean takes us behind the scenes to show us what it takes.
Interested in television? WSRE has the answers.
When a person produces a television show, there are a great variety of duties that are required. It tends to vary a little bit from show to show, but a producer is the person who structures the show, usually within a format that's already been dictated. The producer lines up the guests, the producer determines the content of the show. Producer writes the script that is required for the show, and basically makes sure that all of the materials that are required for the show, whether that might be photographs or video or graphics, are all in place, and that all of this can be done in a timely manner within the given format. If I were to choose between producer and director in terms of what I prefer most, I might say producer, in that tends to go more to the skill set that I feel like I brought to television when I first started, and that is to say I have a degree in English, and that I think helps me as a storyteller and as a writer, and the producer role involves that and more, but maybe it goes to those strengths. I do enjoy the challenge of directing, but oddly, I am not really a terribly technical guy, even though I work in a technical field. And so working with the equipment, such as this switcher that you see behind me, is always a little bit daunting, even though I've been doing it for quite some time. I look forward to the challenge of directing, but I would say that if I had to choose between the two, producer is something that I might say is my preference.
For more information on WSRE, go to their website at wsre.org. I'm Demi Jean, reporting for Argo News.
This month, the university is celebrating diversity with the campus organizations leaving their mark here at UWF.
Residents here on campus are trying to find new ways to build community, this time with a colorful twist.
RHA is the Residence Hall Association, and we are comprised of councils from each of the residence halls on campus. Our goals as a Residence Hall Association was to give residents and students on campus a voice, and taking that a step further was giving them a united voice. So we decided the way to do that was to recognize and celebrate diversity, which we translated into a tie-dye program where students can tie-dye bandanas with different colors to showcase who they are and get to know other students. So we incorporated the help of other culture-based student organizations here on campus to help put a spotlight on diversity. It's a very important goal for us to be a part of changing campus culture and becoming more accepting to different people, and what's a better place to start than the people that are already living here on campus. Once we start opening communication between different cultures, different groups, people will be a lot more open to understanding, and I think they'll be a lot more capable once they recognize their own communication skills. I hope that it'll open the eyes of the students to recognize that everyone has a place and everyone comes from a different place, and that it's still something that's great and something to be celebrated. And I hope that they'll carry that message with them to other students on campus, whether they attended the event or not.
So whether you're trying to mix some colors together or deciding to join a new culture club, make sure you leave your mark here at the university. I'm Natasha Geronimi, reporting for Argo News.
If you have a short attention span, the Pensacola Little Theater may be the perfect place for you. Here's Argo News reporter Rebecca Worley with more.
Do you have a short attention span? Then you might like the Short Attention Span Theater.
Well, it's a series of one acts. We've been doing it for about 12 years now. I think this is season 12. And it started with, we wanted to try to get some fresh, unpublished work into the mix, not to have tried and true. In a couple of seasons, we tried to get local authors to write. And that niche has been filled with other things at PLT. Well, each year we screen numerous one-act plays. They're usually 10 to 12, 15 minutes each. We solicit them from around the country. They're mostly submitted via email. Many of them are by first-time authors, or they are unpublished works. And we have a screening process that goes on almost year-round called script teasers, at which we do table readings, and the shows that get chuckles at the script teasers table readings then become part of a file from which directors choose the shows they'll do each year. Usually in the 6 shows, the casts are very small, typically only 2 people, sometimes 2 or 3 people.
The Pensacola Little Theater is located at 400 South Jefferson Street. I'm Rebecca Worley, reporting for Argo News.
UWF is linking their students to future employers through its Executive Mentor Program. Argo News reporter Robin Medeiros has more on the story.
The business department has a program that tries to educate students further by connecting them to business partners in the community.
The Executive Mentor Program is a program where business executives from the community are matched one-on-one with a College of Business student for an academic school year, and it's for mentoring and coaching throughout the school year. So the goals of the mentor program are to basically help the student with the soft skills. So they're getting a great education here on marketing and accounting and economics and finance and all of that. But what we really want to help them with is the soft skills. So it helps them with professional development, communication skills, self-confidence, networking skills, how to build relationships with people in the community, and really help build that network of business connections in the community so that it's easier for them to get a job when they graduate. So students can either come to the College of Business, this building 76A on the second floor, and we have little brochures that they can come pick up, and we have application forms, but probably the easiest way is to go to the website. Everything that you want to know about the Executive Mentor Programs on the website. And so if you just go to uwf.edu/executive mentor, you can get right to our website. We have how to become a mentor, how to become a student mentee. We have the application forms you can download. We also have, which is interesting to people, a list of all of our executive mentors, where they work and what their position is. So you can kind of get a sense of who's participating in this program.
If you'd like to learn more about the program, check out the Executive Mentor website or head into the business department for more information. I'm Robin Medeiros, reporting for Argo News.
The versatility of one UWF dance club offers a unique style. Argo News reporter Jasmine Shivers has the details.
It's time to let down your hair and spin into some Latin flair.
I joined the Salsa Club because I saw them perform at the dance team's Christmas recital, and I thought it was very cool, and it was something that I was hooked on the moment that I saw it, so I wanted to join. We teach salsa, and it's more of a social dance kind of thing, but the music's lively, the dance is very fast, and it's more of a workout. We teach bachata, and that one's more slow and sensual, and the music's slower, and it's more of like a cool down. So the main basic step that we teach is LA style, which is on one, and then in Texas we had to learn on two, which is New York style. We like to travel to different places. Like for our small events for travel, we usually go to Destin, and we go to Bric-a-Brac. And then we just go social dancing until about 1 in the morning, and then we come back here, and it's just like an overnight kind of thing. But then for bigger events, we like to go to Texas Salsa Congress, and it's usually about a 3-day event. As president, I mainly do all the paperwork and all of the behind-the-scene things, but on Mondays and Wednesdays, I like to teach class with different members and stuff, but it's fun. The best part about salsa to me would be probably dancing with so many different people and seeing how they like interpret salsa and just learning something different from each person that you dance with. I think that's cool.
The Salsa Club meets every Monday and Wednesday at 8:15 in the HLS facility. I'm Jasmine Shivers, reporting for Argo News.
Crime is no stranger to many college campuses. Here at UWF, many plans are already in place to address this problem.
The protection and safety of students here at the University of West Florida is extremely important.